It was 1974, a Tuesday afternoon in a small restaurant somewhere in the American South. The kind of place where everyone knew everyone, where strangers stood out. The lunch rush had passed. Only a few tables were occupied. Forks scratched against plates. Low conversations hummed in the air. Outside, the sun burned white against the pavement. Inside, a ceiling fan turned slowly, too slow to cool anyone down, just slow enough to move the heavy air. And then the door opened. A man walked in, tall, well-dressed, black suit, white shirt, no tie. His shoes reflected the afternoon light coming through the window. He moved with the kind of ease that came from being comfortable in his own skin. Not arrogant, just present. He didn't look around for approval. He didn't announce himself. He simply walked to a table near the back and sat down. The waitress, a woman in her 50s with tired eyes, approached him. "What can I get you?" she asked. Her voice was neutral, professional. "Just coffee," the man said, "and whatever your special is today." She nodded and walked away. He sat there, hands folded on the table, watching nothing in particular, just existing in the moment. At a table near the front sat four men, mid-30s, construction workers by the look of their clothes, dirt under their nails, sunburned necks. They'd been drinking beer with their lunch. One of them noticed the man in the back. He nudged his friend, whispered something. They all turned to look, not subtly, just looked. The kind of look that sizes someone up, the kind that decides whether someone belongs. One of them, the loudest one, spoke first. "Look at that," he said, loud enough for nearby tables to hear. "Someone thinks he's special." His friends chuckled, low and mean. The man in the back didn't react. He simply sat there, waiting for his coffee. The waitress brought it, set it down without a word. He thanked her quietly, wrapped his hands around the cup. The four men watched him. "Hey!" the loud one called out. The restaurant went quiet. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Forks paused halfway to mouths. The man in the back looked up. His face was calm, almost curious. "Yeah, you," the loud one continued. "You lost or something?" The man smiled. A small smile. Not mocking, not afraid, just aware. "No," he said simply. "Just having lunch." His voice was soft, southern accent but refined. The kind of voice that didn't need to be loud to be heard. "Just having lunch," the loud one repeated, mocking the tone. "You hear that, boys? Just having lunch." More laughter, harder this time. The man took a sip of his coffee, slow, deliberate, like he had all the time in the world. The waitress brought the food: meatloaf, mashed potatoes, green beans. Steam rose from the plate. The man thanked her again. She glanced at the foreman near the front. Her expression said she'd seen this before. She walked away quickly. "Must be nice," one of the other men said, "eating in places you don't belong." The man cut into his meatloaf, precise movements, like everything he did was intentional. "I belong everywhere I choose to be," he said quietly. Not defensive, just factual. The loud one stood up. His chair scraped against the floor. "You got a smart mouth," he said. The man looked up at him, made eye contact. Direct, unflinching. I've been told I have a way with words, the man said. His tone was light, almost playful, but there was something underneath it, something solid, like bedrock. The other three men stood up too. They didn't approach, not yet, but they formed a kind of barrier, a wall between the man and the door. The restaurant was silent now, every eye watching. Some people looked away, uncomfortable. Others stared, waiting to see what would happen. "Where are you from?" the loud one asked. "Louisville," the man said. "Kentucky." He took another bite of food, chewed slowly. "Long way from home," another one said. "I travel a lot," the man replied. "What do you do?" the loud one pressed. The man set down his fork, wiped his mouth with a napkin, took his time. "I work with my hands," he said. "I work with my mind. I work with my heart." The four men exchanged glances, confused, irritated. "That's not an answer," the loud one said. The man smiled again, that same small smile. "It's the only answer that matters," he said. "You think you're better than us," the loud one said. His voice was rising now, getting aggressive. "Coming in here with your fancy suit, your fancy words?" The man didn't flinch. "I don't think I'm better than anyone," he said. "I just know who I am." "And who is that?" one of the others challenged. The man paused, looked at each of them in turn. "I'm a man who refuses to be small," he said, "even when the room wants me to be." Silence. Heavy, thick, the kind of silence that weighs on your chest. "You talk like a preacher," the loud one sneered, "but you dress like a pimp." Laughter from his friends, forced, uncomfortable. The man didn't react. He simply picked up his coffee cup, took another sip, set it down gently. "I've been called worse," he said, "by better men." Someone in the restaurant coughed. An older man at a corner table leaned forward, squinting, trying to see the man in the back more clearly. His wife whispered something to him. He shook his head. Not sure. The four men were still standing, still blocking the aisle. "You got a name?" the loud one demanded. The man in the back folded his hands again. "Everyone has a name," he said. "What's yours?" The question caught them off guard. The loud one blinked. "What?" "Your name," the man repeated. "You asked mine, I'm asking yours." The loud one hesitated, like he'd never considered the exchange could go both ways. "Frank," he muttered. "Nice to meet you, Frank," the man said. Genuine, respectful. It disarmed the moment, just for a second. Frank didn't know how to respond. "You know what your problem is, Frank," the man said. He wasn't being provocative. His tone was almost kind. Frank's jaw tightened. "What?" "You think strength is loudness," the man said. "You think power is intimidation." He stood up slowly, not aggressive, just rising to his full height, 6'3", broad shoulders, but relaxed, completely relaxed. "Real strength is quiet," he continued. "Real power doesn't need to announce itself." Frank took a step forward. "You calling me weak?" The man shook his head. "I'm saying you don't know your own strength yet. So you're trying to find it in me." The words hung in the air. Frank's friends shifted uncomfortably. One of them put a hand on Frank's shoulder. "Come on, man," he said quietly. "Let's just go." But Frank wasn't ready. "I know men like you," Frank said. "Think you can talk your way out of anything." The man nodded. "Words have saved me more times than fists ever could," he said. "But I've used both when I had to." Something in his voice changed. Still calm, still controlled, but there was steel underneath now, the kind of steel that's been tested and held. You ever been in a real fight? Frank challenged. The man's eyes changed, just for a moment, a flicker of something ancient, something that had seen things, done things. More than you can imagine, he said softly. The older man in the corner stood up suddenly. His chair scraped loudly. My God, he said, his voice shaking. Everyone turned to look at him. He was staring at the man in the back, eyes wide. That's Muhammad Ali. The name hit the room like thunder. Muhammad Ali. The name echoed in every mind. Frank's face went pale. His friends took a step back. The man, Ali, simply stood there, same calm expression. Is that true? Frank whispered. Ali tilted his head slightly. Does it matter? He asked. You didn't care who I was 5 minutes ago. Frank's mouth opened, closed. No words came out. The waitress dropped a plate in the kitchen. The crash echoed through the silence. Frank started. I didn't. Ali raised a hand gently. You didn't know, he said, but that's the point. He stepped closer to Frank, not threatening, almost gentle. You should treat every person like they might be the champion, Ali said, because everyone is the champion of their own story. Frank's eyes were wet. He wasn't crying, not quite, but close. I'm sorry, he said. His voice cracked. Ali shook his head. Don't apologize to me because you know my name now, he said. Apologize to the man you thought I was, the man you tried to humiliate, because he deserved your respect too. Frank couldn't speak. One of his friends, the one who tried to pull him away, stepped forward. Mr. Ali, he said, we're sorry. Ali looked at each of them, really looked, seeing them, not as threats, not as enemies, as people. You're not sorry yet, he said, but you will be. When you think about this moment later, when you're alone with your thoughts, that's when you'll really feel it. Ali walked back to his table, sat down, picked up his fork. Sit with me, he said. Not a command, an invitation. Frank and his friends didn't move. I said sit, Ali repeated, firmer this time. They moved like sleepwalkers, pulled chairs from nearby tables, sat down around him. Ali took a bite of his now cold meatloaf. You want to know what I do? He asked. They nodded, mute. I fight, he said, not just in the ring. I fight ignorance. I fight hate. I fight the parts of people that make them cruel. He looked at Frank. The parts that made you stand up and try to make yourself bigger by making me smaller. Frank looked down at his hands. I wasn't trying to. Yes, you were, Ali interrupted. And that's okay, because now you know. Let me tell you something, Ali said. He set down his fork, leaned back in his chair. Every person you meet is carrying something you can't see. A struggle, a pain, a dream. When you try to humiliate someone, you're not just attacking them. You're attacking their whole story, everything they've survived, everything they hope to become. The restaurant was completely silent. People at other tables were listening now, openly. I could have told you who I was the moment you spoke, Ali continued. I could have watched you scramble, watched you embarrass yourself. He shook his head. But that wouldn't have taught you anything. You needed to see who you were when you thought I was nobody. Frank's hands were shaking. I was taught, he started, then stopped. What were you taught? Ollie asked gently. I was taught that some people matter less, Frank whispered. The words hung there. Ugly. True. Ollie nodded slowly. I know, he said. I was taught that too, about myself, that I should be grateful for scraps, that I should know my place, that I should be quiet. He smiled, a real smile this time. But I decided to teach myself something different. What? Frank asked. That I'm the only one who gets to decide my worth, Ollie said. Not you, not anyone, just me. One of Frank's friends, the youngest one, spoke for the first time. How do you do it? He asked. Stay calm like that? When people come at you? Ali considered the question. I used to get angry, he said. I used to fight with rage. But rage is fuel that burns out. Calm is a river. It just keeps flowing, no matter what rocks you throw in it. The young man nodded, absorbing. I saw you fight Floyd Patterson, the older man from the corner said. He'd approached quietly, standing at a respectful distance. Ali looked up at him. You remember that? He asked. I'll never forget it, the man said. The way you moved, like water. Ali smiled. That's what I'm trying to be, he said. Water. Can't grab it, can't break it. It just finds its way. Frank stood up suddenly, his chair scraped back. Everyone tensed, but he wasn't leaving. He extended his hand. Thank you, he said, his voice steady now, clear. Ali looked at the hand, then at Frank's face. He stood, took the hand, shook it firmly. You're welcome, he said. But don't thank me. Thank yourself. You're the one who chose to listen. Frank nodded, tears on his cheeks now, not ashamed of them. I'll remember this, he said. I know, Ali replied. Ali pulled out his wallet, left money on the table. More than enough to cover the meal, and the waitress's trouble. He stood, adjusted his jacket. Gentlemen, he said, nodding to Frank and his friends. He walked toward the door. Every eye in the restaurant followed him. At the door, he paused, turned back. One more thing, he said. The room held its breath. The next time you see someone you don't know, someone who looks different, someone who seems out of place, remember this moment. Remember how it feels to realize you were wrong and choose differently. He pushed open the door. Sunlight flooded in, bright, blinding, and then he was gone. For a long moment, nobody moved. Nobody spoke. Frank sat back down, put his head in his hands. His friends sat with him, silent. The older man returned to his wife. Did that really just happen? She asked. He nodded. Greatest boxer in the world, he said. And he taught those boys more in 10 minutes than they've learned in their whole lives. The waitress came to clear Ali's table. She found the money, counted it, triple what the meal cost. Under the bills, a napkin, words written in neat handwriting. Thank you for your patience. Keep fighting your fight. M.A. She folded it carefully, put it in her pocket. Frank and his friends left an hour later. They didn't speak much. Outside in the parking lot, Frank stopped, looked back at the restaurant. He started. I know, one of his friends said. We all did. But we didn't, the young one said, because he wouldn't let us. Frank nodded. He could have destroyed us, he said. He could have humiliated us in front of everyone, made us look like fools. He did, another said quietly, but he did it with kindness. That's worse. No, Frank said, that's better. Because now we have to live with it, have to become better. They drove away, changed. Not completely. Change takes time, but started. The seed planted. And somewhere down the road, Muhammad Ali continued on to the next place, the next moment, the next person who needed to learn that true power isn't in the fists. It's in the heart. It's in the mind. It's in the choice to lift others up, even when they're trying to tear you down, especially then, because that's when it matters most. That's when you show the world what a champion really is. Not someone who wins fights, but someone who wins souls. Muhammad Ali once said, "I am the greatest." But his greatness wasn't measured in victories. It was measured in moments like these. Moments when he could have chosen pride and chose wisdom instead. Moments when he could have chosen revenge and chose teaching instead. Moments when he could have chosen to be right and chose to be kind instead. The four men in that restaurant never forgot him. They told their children about that day. Their children told their children. The story spread, changed in the telling as all stories do, but the heart remained the same. You never know who you're talking to. You never know whose life you're changing, your own or theirs. So treat every encounter like it matters, because it does. Treat every person like they're the greatest, because in their own story they are. And maybe, if you're lucky, if you're paying attention, you'll meet someone who reminds you that you're the greatest too. You just forgot.